Okay. Let's see here. So, as I said, there was a situation about this game the day before. Clown show from how they studio called Fantastic? Yeah, something like that. So basically, this studio somewhere in east in some. Okay, I don't remember exactly when where this studio located, but it doesn't matter because the guys who are working who worked on this game is actually from Russia, from Yakutia. And this game was in development like for 5 years. And the amount of work they did there can be done. Listen, the amount of work they done in this game can be estimated in 1 or 2 months. 1 or 2 months. I'm not even kidding. This is insane. Why? Why I am saying this? How can I know? How I possibly know how much time they spent? Because I work on a fucking video game in Unreal Engine. This game made in Unreal Engine, and they used pre-made stuff, which is selling in Unreal. No, Bethesda actually better, like a lot better than these guys. So they used the pre-made stuff from Unreal Store. Every fucking asset in this game can be bought in Unreal Store. The whole city for this game is just a city you can. It's a city asset you can buy in Unreal Store. Models, weapon models, blueprints for weapon functionality for shooting can be bought in Unreal Store. And I know exactly what they bought. I saw the video. I checked it by myself. I won't show it here. I just don't think it's even. I don't think I even supposed to show it. Everyone just speaking about it. So. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. So, models for characters, models for weapons, models for consumables, pictures, everything. Like everything was bought from the Unreal Store, and they just used it. So this game, they said they spent 5 years to make it, but it's actually made in 1 or 2 months. Why I stop streaming? I don't understand the question. So anyway, as I said, the work they did can be estimated in 1 or 2 months because I was developing the game before in Unreal, and this was just basically a scam. The thing they provided in the trailers, in teasers, they're supposed to make a MMO with like shooting extraction mechanics, something like this. So a lot of customization for your weapons and so on. There is nothing about it here. It's just a pre-made city from Unreal Store with static extraction points, and it was just basically a scam. And a lot of people bought this game, and they didn't know that this game wasn't even started to making whenever they teasered their first trailers. Who would think about it? Yeah. So let's watch the video.
The day before. So IGN made a review of the game. There it is.
Before we get started, a quick note from the editor here.
Yeah.
Just 4 days after its early access release, the day before was removed from sale on Steam, and the developer announced it was shutting down. The servers remain up for now for anyone who bought it, but since our reviewer went to the trouble of playing it, it seems only right that you get to see what he thought while it lasted.
Yeah.
Now, on with the review.
Review from IGN.
5 long years. That's how long the now defunct developer Fantastic supposedly spent assembling the day before.
As I already said, there wasn't any 5 years. Like, actually 5 years, it's not there. It was a lie.
This wholly disappointing online zombie survival shooter contains essentially nothing of what was originally promised over the years leading up to its disastrous early access release. Not only is it not an MMO, but it hardly passes as a survival shooter at all. During the handful of hours I managed to spend with it before...
Whenever I watch somebody else play it, it really puts it into perspective.
I went belly up. I ran into such severe performance issues on my GeForce RTX 4070 Ti and Ryzen 3900X equipped PC that it felt like it would have been a waste of time to continue anyway. That is, even if the running around the day before's questionably designed city collecting loot was any fun.
He said, questionably designed city. Yes, it's 100% questionable, because the structure of this city doesn't supposed to fit the extraction shooter, looter, and so on. It's not this city in Unreal Store wasn't designed for this type of game, and they changed nothing. They changed literally nothing.
Fun to begin with.
You don't even collect any loot. There's nothing that's interesting in the game.
100%, I'm agree.
It's sad. Stolen assets?
Stolen assets.
Bro, the only thing this game stole from me was time.
You wake up in the ramshackle survivor camp of a New York-inspired metropolis filled with questionable decals that look precariously similar to real-world businesses.
I actually thought that the numbers, like, you know, they had the llama thing for Amazon. I actually thought that some of those were kind of clever.
It's
so
inspired metropolis filled with questionable decals that look precariously similar to real-world businesses.
I actually thought that the numbers, like, you know, they had the llama thing for Amazon. I actually thought that some of those were kind of clever.
It's unclear where the zombies are coming from or why you should care, and the whole thing might be forgivable if it was framed as a parody, but unfortunately, the generic survivors of this unimaginative world seem to take its zombie outbreak seriously.
When the aggressive, infected individuals took to the streets, it only...
One more thing. About... Oh, fuck. About zombies. Yeah, I honestly even forgot about that fact that zombies are existing in this game. So whenever you launching the game where there's supposed to be zombies, You're expecting like maybe or like big amounts of zombies. It's not there. So you're like running few streets. They're just not there. It's like 1, 2 zombies and that's all. It's actually that's all. What the fuck are they thought people will like think about this game?
It took a couple of weeks for New Fortune City to completely fall.
After a
It
decently
really sounds like garbage whenever I listen to it again.
paced tutorial,
It's
the day before
definitely
comes up
so.
short on even the most basic features one would expect in a survival game.
Yeah.
Gone are the dynamic environments and tight firefights shown off in its now mysteriously absent trailers.
Was that Ronald McDonald?
Damn. Look the delay.
Instead,
Of
you'll mostly
impact.
spend your time running around a
from
static
shooting.
Well, I love the
it's
alarm
like
in the
second or two.
background.
cityscape that looks pretty at first glance, but offers absolutely no depth.
Yeah, there's nothing
You might
in
find
here
a
at all.
zombie or two while
Yeah,
scavenging for
it's
loot,
definitely
Yeah.
but rarely pose any threat. What shocked me the most about the day before was the notable absence of like almost any UI. Sure,
Yeah.
there's a touchscreen display for your quests, but you can only track one at a time. There's also a clunky makeshift map, but you're a sitting duck while looking at
I don't actually don't give a fuck about how much you can track quests, how much amount you can track. It's who gives a fuck?
it. The inventory screen is also bare bones, and even if you manage to
Yeah.
find yourself
Well,
in
it's not bare bones. You have to understand. It's just something that they bought off of the Unreal
Yes.
store. Like, this was like $79. And they just ported it over one for one.
same
Yes.
squad with other players,
I can just agree.
it's almost impossible to figure out where they are, or even if they're still on your team. Not only is there no multiplayer menu, there is no voice chat either.
No.
You can communicate with your
I
party
couldn't
in
even open my party frame up.
a rudimentary in-game chat window.
It's just not
but
working.
even getting that to work
simply
is
not working.
a pain. I'd
Yeah, it
have a
was.
more
I couldn't
enjoyable
figure it
time
out.
actually hiding under a dumpster surrounded by zombies, like Glenn from The Walking Dead.
We
than
could
waiting for
see
day
the
before's
perfect
multiplayer
AI
to
of
work
zombies.
right. Since there
Like
isn't
from
much guidance at all, I had
2005?
to find out the hard way that the day before wasn't simply not telling me how to do certain things, like melee combat or
Well,
setting up.
it's not that they didn't tell you how to do it. It told you how to do everything in the game. You just can't do that.
Yes.
You can't vault.
Yes.
You can't melee. You can't do anything.
camp and
In a zombie game, there is no melee. Yeah, there is no fucking melee in this game. You can't even beat the fuck from the zombie with with the back of the gun. I forgot how. I just don't remember the word. So there is no any melee combat in this game. It's unthinkable.
the alleged open world.
The developer, by the way, responded to criticism about the game on Twitter. The response was, guys,
yes.
look, I
They
mean,
do.
shit happens.
They did.
I mean, shit happens, guys. Like, that's just what it is. They actually said that.
Literally doesn't have those features at all. That's right. If you find yourself running around without a gun for some reason, good luck outrunning all these absolutely brainless zombies
Yeah.
because your hands and feet are useless.
Yes.
The day never came.
The day before is not an MMO or even an open world, despite claims from its developer that it would be both of those things. Instead,
Well, I mean, just because they say something doesn't
there
mean
is
it's
no
true.
any
I mean, like,
of this
yeah, they
stuff.
said it was going to be open world. That doesn't mean that it's
not.
really going to be like open world. I mean, come on.
It's just a cage. It's not an open world. It's not a like linear room to room stuff. It's just a cage, a very limited city. There is nothing like really to explore, and we will continue. Okay.
it's fundamentally an extraction shooter with only
Yeah, it
one
is.
goal: sluggishly run around the mostly empty city, grab some loot, and get to one of the extraction points before you die.
That's right.
The only things you carry over between runs are any gear you manage to take with you, as well as any currency you save up by selling the scraps of loot back to base. If you somehow die before making it home, which is the norm thanks to an unrestricted free-for-all PvP system, you lose everything you had on your body.
Look at that, bro. Watch.
To an unrestricted free-for-all PvP system, you lose...
What was the time there? That's like at least like a third of a second.
It was 1 age, dude. It was literally
everything
1
you
age
had on your body.
before it
Meaning
connected.
you'll often progress backward as your currency dwindles.
Yeah.
That currency can be spent on new items at the main outpost, Woodbury, which serves as the headquarters for your daily operations. There are merchants, a few NPCs that spout bland, set-dressing dialogue, and a storage area for your loose gear and money.
How are you doing?
Honestly,
Put your things in here.
honestly, by watching this game, I'm doing very, I'm doing really, really bad. Like literally, I just feel sad that these kinds of games even published, like Gollum and King Kong. I saw somewhere like meme with 4 horsemen of game development, and there was a Gollum, King Kong, this game, and something else I don't remember. funniest shit.
It's cool that
Man, watching the shit over again really puts it into perspective, doesn't it?
it's
It really
also
does.
populated by other players
Wow.
between loot runs, and it's great that you can team up with anyone while you're in this hub. It's significantly less cool, however, that the hub area's NPCs, the only NPCs in the day before, mind you, are so dryly written and unenthusiastically voice acted that they sound like they could be the poor result of a generative AI.
For example, if you frequently carry a heavy backpack, over time you'll be able to carry even more items.
It's difficult to forgive
Yeah, that does sound really stupid, huh? Wow.
that on its own, but it's even harder still when you realize there's genuinely no story content after the first 30 or so minutes it takes to complete the tutorial. There's also no clear reason to do any of its procedurally generated quests, which
Yeah,
have
why
you
would
looting
you do
random
this?
items for an NPC back at camp, other than to earn a meager amount of extra currency.
Well, there is literally nothing you can spend on these points. Like, you technically you can, but there is no reason to it.
Which makes it suck even more that you can only take on one at a time. The day before takes place almost entirely outdoors during the day, and there are no unique weather effects to shake things up. The landscape
Well,
of
sometimes it gets darker. I mean, like, so they have a day and night cycle. I mean, there
True.
you go. That's gotta be really good. Probably paid anything
Damn.
in development.
Dynamic
it's
day
just-
and night. Wow.
Fortune City
Wow.
is a
Wow.
static
Man.
zone with limited space, where the most exciting thing you'll find is an occasional container with one
Yeah, actually, I heard this. Did you hear the alarm?
Cycle. I mean, there you go.
One
That's
second.
gotta be really good. Barely paid anything in development. It's just
Yeah.
Fortune City
fucking
is a largely
alarms,
static
man.
zone with limited space, where the most exciting thing you'll find is an occasional container with 1 or 2 pieces of junk loot.
wow.
Despite that, the
Damn,
frame
well,
rate
okay,
still struggled
anyway.
to remain stable on my
I
mid-end
didn't have frame
gaming
rate
PC.
problems, but yeah.
And the constant bugs and stuttering made it downright annoying to play it at all. There are essentially no unique zombie encounters or bosses either, and very little in the way of landmarks or special areas containing different types of loot. The few there are that seem like they should house unique gear aren't very good at it. Spots like
Yeah,
a
it's
police
definitely
station
true.
armory, for example, are generally empty, and usually only
Yeah.
serve to
About the looting. Oh fuck. It's just random stuff in random locations. It's just random stuff in random locations, and that's all. So whenever you going to a store, you're supposed to think, I guess I will find there maybe like some currency. I will find, depending on the store, like a bag maybe, like some clothes. No. You going to technical store with notebooks, you will find the bullets. Of course, what else will you find there?
to make excellent traps for other more coordinated bands of players to gank you for all of your hard-earned scrap.
Yeah, I remember like the first game that I played, I got the gun. I just got instantly killed. It was the worst thing ever. Dude, where's my gear?
Surviving all the way to extraction is frustratingly difficult on higher population servers, even with a squad by your side, thanks to a limited number of extraction points on the map, all of which are situated next to choke points constantly abused by more powerful groups of players.
That's what I did.
He's lagging really so badly.
The problem is that the game's third person. Because you can just hide behind the wall
it's another good
and
point.
Then just look from third person, wait for somebody to run by, and then shoot them.
Yeah.
That's literally it. That's all you have to do. Like, that's the problem with PUBG, too. Like, I actually think that PUBG third person was kind of okay, but, like, the reason why it's kind of okay is because it didn't really matter. And also, the rest of the game was pretty good. None of the game was good.
That about PUBG and third person, it's matter a lot. That is why they added the first person, only first person mod, because people were so furious about how they keep dying by people who just sneaking behind the walls, like literally in this game, and just killing them. It's not fair, and that is why they added the first-person mod, a different game mode. So it matter a lot. Yeah, enough about PUBG, about this game. Every extraction looter-shooter game should be first-person. Only first-person. There is no way you can do this type of game in a third-person mode view. It will not work simply because, as Asmagul said, you will just die. So, points are fixed. They're not changing by the time, not changing by going out, going in the city. It's the same area, and you can just go there and wait for players who want to extract, and you can see them because you're in a third person and they can't see you. So basically it creates the situation whenever you're going to extraction point, they just hello? And you dead? You won't be able to react to this shit because it's like realism, and a few shots you're already bleeding as fuck, and if it's shot in the head, you're almost dead because there is no gear. It's another point here there.
Not only is this unfair and unfun on its own, there's currently an unfixed currency duplication glitch.
Yeah.
Which means you can bet most of those other players are cheating to get high-powered armor and weapons. Now that Fantastic is no more, the hopes of that ever getting fixed are slim to none. But hey, the sliver of good news here is at least there's a surprisingly decent variety of weapons. These range from handguns to scoped sniper rifles. In all, there are probably about 14 or so options available at the weapon dealer in town,
and they're all
but the catch is that you'll struggle to afford anything packing a real punch.
They're garbage because shooting not really working in this game. This delay is fucking insane. Damn, you shot the guy, you think, oh, I supposed to made this shot. It's supposed to hit him. No. It will hit him, but in the future. So it doesn't matter which gun you are shooting. You can be dead by the time you land your shot, because this guy could already shot you like 4 times. You actually already dead in the future, but you don't know about this.
Punch.
Exactly.
Weapons also handle reasonably well, though their cheap and underwhelming sound design leaves a lot to be desired.
I think one thing this definitely shows is that there's a tremendous desire for this kind of a game. The fact that there were 50,000 people playing this game concurrently whenever it came out indicates that obviously people really want this. You can't even buy this game on Steam anymore. It has no buy button.
No,
Common Steam W.
Not really. Yeah, some people.
The
of
bigger
course,
your backpack,
but
the more loot you can carry. But just like everything else in your inventory, you'll lose your backpack as soon as you die. This sucks because backpacks are relatively.
I will actually add here that yeah, probably a lot of people want this kind of game because there is not much of this type of games. So of this type of game, I mean. So yeah, maybe actually, I just think about it. Yeah, maybe it's true. But for me personally, I don't like this type of game. It's in any way just waste of your time. It's simply because you like losing almost everything. You have like slots where you can put the loot, and after that it will stay. But it's so little. It's making the progress really painful. And I just don't like this type of game where you can just waste a lot of time like looting and stuff, and in the end you just will die. Someone will take this loot and that's all. This type of game providing the like red gameplay, reds. So you just don't want to lose. Even in the first-person mode, you won't be able to. Actually, it's not what I want to say. Even with first-person mode, there will be still people who just staying in one spot and waiting for you to come. So it's and he will be right about this, because this type of game actually makes you to play like this. Because it is the most efficient way to play it, and I don't like it.
Expensive to replace, and you essentially need one in order to haul anything worthwhile back from a run. If you're lucky, you might be able to find one on another player's corpse, but it's more likely you'll be unprepared to fight anyone if you're low on cash.
Well, you don't need to be prepared. See, he doesn't understand. All you have to do is hide behind a wall.
Yeah,
and then use the third-person perspective to watch their character and effectively wall hack them, wait for them to move their character to where they can't see you, and then come out from behind the wall and then shoot them in the back until they're not moving anymore. Then you just go and loot them.
They don't need
problem solved.
To
there
make
it
any
is.
moves.
You win.
You can just
surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, you're right.
Bam, bam, bam.
True.
He'll be dead because it's a realistic game.
The Day Before is easily one of the worst games I have ever played. To the point where
I don't think it's one of the worst games I had ever played. Like, I've played some really, really bad games.
It's one of the worst games I didn't play because I simply not playing these shitty games. Like, I just can see whether this game will be shit or not, and I just saw the promotion stuff, and I learned who making this game. I just no, guys, it's a scam. It's 100% scam, because it's already second time. Whenever I won't say who, but those guys making the game, it's every time, not every time, but for the most part, it's a scam.
I'm afraid to continue running it on my PC. Sure, you could say there are the bones of something coherent here.
Yeah, sure.
But even those bones feel splintered and brittle. Its map is lifeless, its enemies are idiotic, its PvP is an exploitable mess, its story is pointless, and its progression is downright infuriating.
Yes.
While the now defunct developer Fantastic said it wasn't done, certain baseline standards have been established in the years since early access became a thing.
Yeah, like everything.
And this game met none of them.
There were no standards at all with this game.
Yes.
They just bought a bunch of assets and then reused them. And again, Only Up was a bunch of reused assets as well.
Damn.
That's why whenever I found out that they were reusing assets, I didn't go and complain about that. I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I mean, as long as the gameplay is good, that's what really matters. But yeah, there was no gameplay.
Mysterious questions around the day before's development
They
will
just
likely
didn't change
go
anything.
unanswered now that the curtain has fallen, leaving the player base to fend for itself until the servers are inevitably shut down for good. And if you didn't manage
they're not being shut down, they're being put out of their misery.
to try it firsthand, you can count yourself as one of the lucky ones.
Yep.
I would
No,
say
the
0.
score graphic didn't
1.
get stuck. That's a 1 out of 10,
-1?
folks.
Jesus.
I guess.
For more of 2023's
Because-
worst games,
1.
check out our reviews of The
It's a
Walking
scam.
Dead
I
Destinies.
want the rate
my
scam
God.
like
And
greater
for everything
than
else,
0.
stick with IGN.
Keep your senses sharp, react swiftly, aim accurately, and you'll return here with a full backpack many times.
Once again, why it's a scam? Because the amount of work can be estimated like in like 1 or 2 months. No more. They said it's 5 years, but no, it's not. They just made these teasers. They looked how people reacted to this. They understood in 4 years that yeah, people are actually interested in this kind of stuff, and they maybe did something, maybe in like a year before the release, but no, guys, it 1 or 2 months. I can say it from experience because I developed the game before.
Wow.
In Unreal.
There it is, not 0. I originally gave it a 3.
No, Asman. It's not 3. It's not even a 3. Yeah, here's the video. How would Asmogol said? Please give it a like. A good video. I fully agree with the statements which was brought in this video, and I fully support the review from IGN. It's a good review. Okay.